What a lot of people don't realize is that Israelis have been protesting for I don't know really how many years now. It was long before October 7th. Israelis have been protesting against the Israeli government over Netanyahu and his corruption and bribery charges. And then October 7th happened, and then they started protesting against the Israeli government for their abuses against Palestinians and the fact that the Israeli government is doing very little to release the hostages or killing the hostages. Uh, it's just been growing and growing and growing. It's not something they show on Western media a whole lot, well, at least not in the United States, because the United States doesn't want to show the fact that there are Israelis that are dissatisfied and against the Israeli government. Here we have a nationwide protest, which it's been going on for a while actually, um, demanding some kind of hostage deal and an end to the genocide in Gaza because all Israelis want, at least the sensible ones, and not the far right-wing Zionists who seek the utter destruction of Palestinians, but those that are sensible, they just want the Israeli government to make a deal with Hamas to have the hostages released and an end to what is going on so that people can get on with their lives and so that the Israeli government stops genociding people because there are a lot of Israelis that are against the Israeli government genociding Palestinians.
Military said today its deadly attack on a hospital in Gaza was aimed at what was believed to be a surveillance camera. Hamas denied it was operating a camera at the hospital.
Israelis
Wow, so wait, right there they're saying that the Israeli government blew up a hospital in order to quote unquote destroy one surveillance camera. You know how truly insane that is? To say that we found a surveillance camera possibly operated by Hamas, so we decided to destroy a hospital. And destroying a hospital is a war crime. But according to laws, if any building is being used for military purposes, it becomes a legit target. So this is why the Israeli government likes to claim that anything they bomb is being used by Hamas so that they can use the claim that it was a legit military target since it was being used for military purposes, even though they're, they're never able to prove that any of it was actually being used for military purposes, unlike a lot of places in Israel, which are used for military purposes, including hospitals. Like there's one hospital that has an underground bunker that can be used as a temporary HQ, which was used when there was a spat with Iran and Israel just recently after Israel attacked Iran and Iran decided to defend itself. The Israeli government went underneath the hospital to be used as a military HQ, which is funny because if uh, Hamas was actually able to bomb that hospital, the Israeli government would scream that uh, Hamas is committing war crimes by attacking a hospital.
today staged protests across the country saying they've had enough of the war, now nearly 2 years old. And late today, the White House said President Trump will lead a meeting on the war tomorrow. Here's MTS Tayeb.
The rare nationwide protests saw tens of thousands of Israelis take to the streets to demand an end to the war in Gaza and see the remaining hostages released. Much of their fury is directed squarely at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who they accuse of blocking any deal.
We will fight until they come back, even though we feel the government is against us, against the hostages.
Yeah, even Israelis can see through the lies of the Israeli government. The Israeli government is continually using the hostages as pawns to justify what they're doing. But Israelis see that it's nothing but a lie. This is why they want the Israeli government to stop.
The demonstrations come against the backdrop of global condemnation of this Israeli attack on one of Gaza's last hospitals, which was captured live on television. At least 20 people were killed, including 5 journalists, some who worked for the Reuters and Associated Press news agencies.
Well, the last hospital was destroyed by the Israeli government. Who in their right mind thinks the good guys are the people destroying hospitals and the bad guys are the press and media reporting on what is going on? Because the Israeli government loves to destroy hospitals, they love to kill doctors, and they love to kill people in the media. Uh, no good guy has ever killed people in the media and been like, yeah, I'm the victim here. This is why I gotta kill the journalists.
Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called it a tragic mishap, while the Israeli military has said it was still investigating the attack, but that their target was a, quote, Hamas camera. And later said 6 fighters were among the dead, but have not provided.
This reminds me when the United States was invading after 9/11 and they would kill people with cameras, claiming that the camera was a quote-unquote weapon or used by a terrorist or something, and that would justify the United States killing people in the media or pretty much just anyone having any kind of object, because this was during the time when drones were being used more and more often, and that just gave people an easy excuse to be like, yeah, this thing looked like this, so I drone bombed them. And this is just no different. The Israeli government just bombing whatever they want and just making up some kind of excuse for it.
Any meaningful evidence to support the claims.
Now, the Associated Press and Reuters have demanded accountability for the killings of the journalists. Since October of 2023, 189 Palestinian media workers have been killed in Gaza as Israel continues its
Why have so many journalists been killed by the Israeli government, you may wonder? Well, they're trying to prevent those people from reporting on the actual facts, what the Israeli government is doing, so that the Israeli government can control the information coming out and manufacture a story that paints them in a good light and paints Palestinians in a bad light. They don't want people to actually see that they're committing a genocide against Palestinians. Pretty much no different than what Nazi Germany was doing, where they were trying to control the narrative of the genocide and to make it seem like they were the good guys.
unprecedented ban on international journalists from reporting in